Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Bleav.
Doesn't matter if you're an Indian or if you're a Warhawk.
The yearling mention is the greatest.
This is the Bleav in the Warhawks podcast, powered by WarhawkReport.com.
With hosts Dusty Thibodeaux and Chase Regian. More important than baseball. Sorry, Ford. Oh, what on earth did I just walk into?
I think I'm doing this right, but he's yelling at me, so I'm not. And so,
What are these guys always talking about?
We talk a lot about food on this podcast, and I'm going to continue to do so.
So was that actually y'all's idea? That's awesome.
Nailed the introduction, by the way. Awesome.
Thanks,
I love
Fish.
it.
Chase, back for another one. It's a great time, maybe not necessarily on the bayou, although all the people are coming in for prep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you as a student athlete have to go through prep, or did y'all have like y'all's own thing?
We didn't have the only thing we went to was convocation. We couldn't because you start summer workouts before all that starts, so you're kind of already there, living there. Unfortunately, I never went through prep. I know some programs a little different, but no, you do a university life class and a convocation, but no prep, unfortunately, because I've heard it's really fun.
It was all right. I don't remember the guys' names that I had room, but they were all friends. They were from Rayville. I had no idea where Rayville was. I just know that I was tired from driving in from Alabama, and I just wanted to sleep, and they wanted to party like there was no tomorrow. And I was like, dude, something's got to give.
Hey, you can sleep when you're dead, Tibbs. You can go out in 18 in Louisiana. Oh yeah, I'm sure prep is fun.
I may or may not have gone to an illegal party.
There you go.
After I crashed and burned, and then got that second wind in.
There you go. Heck yeah.
Exciting times in the Sun Belt, though, Chase. Back-to-back seasons. We have a team headed to Omaha for the Men's College World Series in baseball with the Troy Trojans, former SID Adam Prendergast representing there.
Very cool. I wouldn't be my choice at the beginning of the year. Wouldn't be my guess.
There were a lot of preseason publications that said Troy was one of the top 8, which is what goes to Omaha. But then when I saw how they were kind of struggling in the season, I was like, no, they're not going to do it. And then barely squeaking in, they were probably the 64th, like the dead last team to get into the NCAA tournament. But hey, they got hot at the right time, able to get it done.
Yeah, good for them. I've just assumed it was going to be Southern or Coastal. Coastal was on a tear earlier this season, and Southern Miss looked great. But hey, yeah, we're back. We're the most competitive non-power baseball conference. Got to be, right?
It doesn't feel right saying it's a mid-major conference because I feel like for all intents and purposes, when it comes to baseball, we're one of the P4.
Oh, you think we're a power conference in baseball? I'd be inclined to agree with you.
National runner-up last year. Got another one going this year to Omaha, back-to-back years. Next year, the Warhawks. Maybe they're in the regional.
It's our turn. Yeah, it's our turn to just light it up. I'm with you. I'd be done. Would you go?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Would you go is the bigger question.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to that. Yeah, absolutely.
You just want to go for the Jell-O shots.
Is that what they're known for? I don't know shit about Omaha.
Rocco's. It's a bar. You buy a $5 Jell-O shot. You get a mark on the board. They donate, I think, half the pot to a charity in that city that wins the challenge. Of course, LSU holds like the world record with, I don't know, like a billion Jell-O shots or something because they had Todd Graves there, the founder of Cane's, just hammering down the money.
Because you can call in and order the shots, I assume?
I think they started it this past year, but
cool.
he broke the record, I don't know, 2-3 years ago where he was just making it rain Jello shots.
Man, that's cool. Well, the Bleav in the Warhawks podcast, we'd break the record.
Yeah, just of what we had. To get there, though, Chase, we got to have some cash because we got to be able to, in this day and age, buy the right players that can get us over the top. You're not cutting a check. I'm not cutting a check. So that really puts it in a position where we got to find some creative ways to raise money. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things that we have to offer that we've never really touched is the naming rights. I think the only thing that has ever had a naming right to it was when it was JPS Field, and that was a disaster and a half. So I'm a little reluctant to say, Chase, we need to sell our soul, sell the naming rights to the stadium, knowing that last time we had nothing to show for it when it all came to an end. But what are your thoughts? Are you really just tied to it being Malone Stadium, or are you good with, we'll say, McDonald's Stadium at whatever field?
I'm not opposed really to changing the name. I think obviously you want to do James Malone right and, have something. I still think you need something named after him. I think you should, honor your most winningest coach, right? But we're in a different world where if somebody would give us a large sum of money to get the name, I don't see how we can't. And you see other Sunbelt schools, right? What's Lafayette's? It's Our Lady of the Lake.
Lords, but yeah.
Okay, I was close. And I'm sure it'll upset some. And like I said, I think Malone needs his name somewhere, but I'm all for selling it. I think I was really excited when they announced JPS was purchasing the field, and if they purchased it, I'm not sure. I don't want to get sued. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity, and if it leads to stadium upgrades, facility upgrades and stuff, how can you not? And how can you not, pursue that every year as long as maybe we get some money up front this time?
So do you feel that that's the thing? Like if you sell the naming rights to the stadium, let's say it's $1 million, so 100,000, 10 years. Does that go to the roster, or does that go to actually upgrading the facility and putting some more lipstick on the pig?
I think it makes more sense to me well, first off, I hope it wouldn't. Is that how cheap it is to get your name on the stadium? $100,000 a year?
It was less than $100,000 last year for a field marking that may or may not have been there. Man, if it's going to be $1 million, I say put it into the roster and try to raise money elsewhere. Although I think long-term fiscal responsibility, I would say put it into the facilities, because I know we need the fix of that now, but it's such a volatile world. My question is, what do you think NIL will look like in 10 years versus what could you do with your facilities to make them last another 10 years, right? I get people want the players, and I just think you've got to think long term with some money like that. If that's the route you're going to go, which I think I'd be okay with him going to. I hope not. I mean, McDonald's could be a cool McDonald's stadium's not but then we put in places there. Anyways, I don't know. I think it's facilities, Tibbs. I got to be honest. I think it's facilities. I think it's a better long term play. And I think you got some people thinking long term a little bit more nowadays than what they have in the past. I think you got to split it. I think you got to go 50-50. Obviously, you got to improve the product on the field, and that's not a knock of where our teams are or anything like that. But you got to continually getting the guys that are bigger, better, faster, stronger, and then really to go to the game, you got to have a fan experience where they want to go back. And it's not a matter of, yeah, I guess we'll go, or we'll go to our one game, instead of having that excitement of wanting to go to all 6 games, all 5 games, 7 games, whatever it is that particular year. I think the other thing is, if you invest in the stadium, though, it opens the door to more possibilities of being able to have those concerts, being able to have other events in the stadium. I remember back in the day when there was the monster trucks, but that's also when we had grass and we were able to get a new turf every year by having the monster truck races at Malone.
I can understand the 50-50 argument, but it's just, you've got to do something. We're falling real far behind, and the locker room was a big step when it got added, but you need more elevators. I mean, we need to do some serious things to this place. And I think if you've got to bite the bullet and kind of not necessarily sell out, but have those corporate partnerships where hopefully it's a wonderful and successful business venture for any company that wants to invest in ULM. And then, when you're going to put your name on it, you want it to be nice. So hopefully they kick in a little extra, continue to put some, as you say, lipstick on that pig.
And I think that's true across the board, right? I mean, if it's Fant Ewing, obviously 2 of the better coaches that we've ever had in the program's history, it's kind of the same question, right? I do think, though, that with the newness of it being the Lou for baseball, that will be there in some shape, form, or fashion. But I'm just curious to know, like I said, what everyone's thoughts are on that, because that might be the easiest way to get that influx of cash to improve the roster and improve the facilities around campus.
Well, maybe you should start. I don't know if we've ever really even had this conversation, because maybe we should start bracing ourselves. If you're a huge fan of James Malone or the history of the place, I completely understand that you're going to be upset. And again, if you're ULM, you hope that they kind of do him right. You know what I mean? And protect his name in one way or another, and whatever that looks like. But we need the money, guys. It's not like nobody knows that. You know what I mean? We all know that that's kind of the boat we're in, and if we can alleviate some of these pressures, that'd be great. It's got to be more than $1 million in 10 years. I hope so.
How many people, though, even know who JD Malone is, or James Malone is, and they don't think that it's JD Malone, the current track coach?
Honestly, probably not too many. I mean, James Malone was born in 1908, died in 1979. And, I mean, they've done him an honor with his name on the building for this long. And not saying that's, the reason it should stop, but you can contribute in his memory in other ways. And maybe not letting the stadium that his name is on look like shit constantly is arguably could be a service to it as well. Service to him as well.
And talking about facilities, Chase, there was still the infamous when the light behind the M burned out, and it was a lone stadium.
Oh gosh. Chief did that one. He did.
The Chief did that. Just like I think the Chief always smiles down upon us every time we get in that elevator to go up into the heavens. It's a true life-changing experience
to get on that elevator and
yes.
to hope it makes it all the way up. Yeah, absolutely. And if it breaks, God forbid.
It's June content month there, Chase. And so it's always slow times. But as we look back at the 2025-26 athletic calendar, what to you stood out as the big achievement across the board? And I'll kick it off for you there. I think one of the big things that really set the tone for this past athletic calendar was women's soccer.
Yeah.
Able to get their first conference championship and did so pretty dominantly. And I feel like that really showed that we have the right pieces in place. We have the right personnel. If we build it, they will come, because Will Roberts at the time had been building this program up and getting it in position to be competitive in the Sun Belt. And then he finally did it. Now, I know that he left. He went to Old Dominion. He took several players there with him. We have one of the top assistants from LSU now, and Anthony Blackburn, as our new leader of that program. I think that we might see a slight dip down. Nothing like we're going all the way down to 10th in the league or anything like that. But I think that it shows the momentum, and it also shows the caliber of the coach that we're able to get after having that success.
Yeah, I think soccer's a great place to start. I mean, it's obviously not one of your main income earners or things like that, but to start seeing some success, women's golf. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump ahead of you here, but of these, I don't want to call them auxiliary sports, but I will for right now. Start seeing success. Just, I think, is an encouraging as an athletic department to be like, okay, we're setting a higher standard. We want to have success across the board here, and people are figuring it out with what they have, and they're working within their budgets, and they are not complaining in the media, and they're just kind of doing the things that you've wanted people to do for a long time. And good for Will. I hope they triple the salary. I hope I hope we look back on him fondly and say, hey, thanks for starting something, or thanks for being a part of the start of something big. And I think soccer's a great place to start with this conversation.
On that note, though, I think year after year, one of the biggest downfalls of athletics is volleyball, whether it be beach or indoor. Is it time to kind of rip the cord there and maybe go another direction of women's sports? Instead of that, maybe we have bowling like Louisiana Tech does, Arkansas State does. I mean, Arkansas State's one of the premier teams in women's college bowling. Louisiana Tech's really not too bad. Jacksonville State's another great team as well. I think they won a national title in the past 2 years. So it's kind of a cheap, easy, level playing field type of sport.
Always thought that about rowing too. I mean, I'd like to see what our other options are and what the cost difference is. If volleyball is the cheapest, then okay, keep them around and they've used the same facility. I mean, but if you go to rowing, can they row, right there? Is bowling expensive? I really don't know what the associated costs. I think that would, unfortunately be my answer, was like, well, what's the cheapest? It's I understood why we cut tennis, but was it cheaper than volleyball? And could we, yeah, I think that's my answer, is like, I want to know, but I completely agree. I think volleyball, beach has had its ups and downs, and then indoors just kind of always struggled, and it's tough to watch. You kind of want them, I want us to be competitive in a sport. And if it's just money that means we're not competitive in that sport, then maybe it is time to move on.
Do we jump on the craze of women's flag football, which is a spring sport?
I think women's flag football would be a great place for us to start. I really do. But again, is it expensive? Do they use the same facilities and stuff as the men's team? I mean, I don't know where that is more of a driver to that question. Just money.
I think they play on a shorter field, so I think that Brown Stadium would be able to hold it. Soccer would not obviously be going on there. You do have a little bit of conflict of resources there with track and field going on around it. But for the most part, I feel like it's a pretty low-cost type of sport that we could fire up and get going pretty easily.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Could they play their games in Malone?
Probably so.
Or McDonald's Stadium? Could they play their games in there?
I throw that out, by the way. I have not heard that McDonald's was going to be the name.
You have to give that disclaimer. Yeah. That's not what
I do know that there are 3 proposals that are out there. All 3 would be fine. It's no shock of what they are when it comes down to it. You know, a couple banks.
I was going to say Origin Bank, Cross Keys Bank.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I like the idea of being one of the front runners there to get on the flag football. I think that it's so new that if we can get in early and really establish ourselves, we could wind up being kind of that Arkansas State type in bowling where we're just head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah, and I know some colleges have already started hiring coaches and hiring staff for it. And so, I don't know when their first season of play is and how they're doing conferences. I don't even know if they've got all that figured out. Just know it's coming. So if we could jump in early, that'd be great.
Yeah, and supposedly the spring meetings that did come up at Sunbelt. The Sunbelt might be one of the conferences sponsoring it, so we wouldn't have one of those kind of weird things where we're in Conference USA or even the Big 12 for flag football. It could actually be a Sunbelt sport across the board.
Let's do it. That'd be great. Yeah, I love that. I love that idea. But in your head, that replaces another sport. They're already there at ULM, and we just stay at the minimum for Title IX purposes.
Yeah. I think so. Just because
is beach an NCAA sport?
Yes.
Okay. But here's the thing: is it's got to be cheap, right? Like to operate beach, you would think would be cheap.
Because we already have the established courts, yes. But I want to say when I talked to the great Howraiser, Jeremy Harper there of Funbelt Podcasts. He looked at doing it, as kind of a fundraiser there at Arkansas State to get them on board. It was pushing $1 million to get the sand, get the courts set up and everything like that.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know all that. But the day-to-day, I mean, we've already got that, right? So the day-to-day operations is just travel for 6-8 people. And uniforms for, I mean, what are the team sizes? Like 10, 12?
Yeah, 10, 12, somewhere in there. And then I think they have 2 coaches.
Yeah. So then maybe, I don't know. Complicated question of what do you cut and if you cut anything and will it save you money or are you doing it because you want to be competitive? I mean, thank God we don't make those decisions, my friend.
Yeah, you would probably cut football after that 2020 season.
After 2020, maybe, but I'd have really looked at it because it was hard to watch your alma mater do what they did in 2020.
Yes, it was. But Chase, what else this year? Getting back to that, what else really stood out to you this year in across the board in athletics?
If you think about it, Tibbs, it was kind of I know this wasn't specifically to a team, but the AD change really shocked me with Hartwell, and I tweeted a little bit about it. I thought Hartwell was great for the university. Of course, there's some nuance we don't know, or there might be, or there might not be. And it might just be a difference in ideas of direction and leadership. And regardless of how it happened, I felt like Hartwell was great for the institution. and I'm grateful for his time. So that was big for me. I think sports-wise, there's some really highs and lows here, right? You got golf, you got soccer, you got softball. Baseball looked competitive. Obviously, they didn't pull it out, but it felt like a good step in the right direction. And then basketball was just kind of like women's basketball was great. I got nothing against Scotty. I think he's headed in the right direction too. And a beaten Bilderback, which makes it much better. Makes everybody feel great around Monroe. But men's basketball was a big question mark. I love the hire of Ryan Cross, so we'll see there. But I think I was really, if you watched him play, it was just rough, and it was hard to watch. And that at the time, if you think about the time when that all happened, it was like, man, are we taking 5 steps back here again?
Yeah, and I definitely thought that Scotty Fletcher overachieved, picked dead last, much like ULM sports always are. But you look at it, it was a new coaching staff, pretty much a whole new roster, and he was able to rally the troops and get it done, was able to get to the quarterfinals there of the conference tournament, get the clean sweep in the SBC MAC Challenge, so able to get it done against the peer conferences, which is a big thing that the conference really wants, to be able to make sure that RPI is staying up. I was highly impressed with him, but I'm always, okay, what have you done for me lately? What are you doing now in year 2? And I think the roster's really taken a good shape. It's going to be a lot taller, a lot bigger of a roster, a lot bigger personnel, that I don't think that we'll have the rebounding issues that we had last year. Now, this year we may not be able to shoot the ball for anything, unlike last year where I felt like there were times where we were able to shoot the lights out, but we're definitely going to be able to get the rebounds and the second chance points. That's for sure.
What do you think about men's? I mean, do you think that who do you think will be there? I know this is super early to talk about this, but like, what type of team do you think we're going to come out and see there?
I don't know necessarily what style of play, but I mean, you got to love that he brought in 3-4 guys from UAB. So there's going to be a lot of familiarity that he has with those guys, as well as them with him, to know what those expectations are. I still think that it's going to be status quo because of how bad last year is. It would not surprise me when the preseason poll comes out. ULM's looking at 14th overall, 7th in the division. Well, there's no division in basketball, so 14th overall.
Yeah, but I don't think that, if you're a ULM fan, I don't think that upsets you anymore. I didn't love the 3.5, but I don't think any of these rankings are always like, yeah, we're on the up, guys. I promise. We have, we have lost the last 10 years in a row, but I do feel like we're on the up. It doesn't feel like doom and gloom.
It's not another 3-win season.
No.
Talking football, of course.
Of course,
And for football, it was a frustrating 3-9 year. But I did on Warhawk Report kind of go through this same type of thing, and I'm just kind of voicing it out now. Again, June content, you got to love it. The bigger thing for football, we did 2 big things that stepped forward or put the program stepping forward again. We got that first non-conference road win, winning at UTEP. First time since I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
And then snap that streak against the Red Wolves of 16 straight. Huge steps forward.
Yeah, listen, Tibbs, you had a competent kicker on that team. No shot at the guys that walked on, but they were students a week before they just went to go kick in their first Division I FBS game. You put a third string decent kicker on that team, and you've won 5 games at least.
Yeah,
you win at Lafayette for sure. You probably win at Texas State. I mean, there's just little flashes through that season where it's a God blank kicker. That's the problem still. We're 30 years into this conversation of a kicker being our nemesis. But yeah, if you do that, you win 5 games. And we're having a much different conversation, and nobody's thinking he's on the hot seat at all. Not that we think that. Not that the insiders think that. ESPN
I get
with
it from
AI articles.
I get it from the outside looking in, but yeah, people that are here, they didn't ask me for my opinion for that article. That's for sure.
No. I wouldn't feel like he's that way.
Baseball, softball, though, I know they're not your sports that you like to watch. Do you think Molly is? I don't want to say on the hot seat because obviously she's doing great things in that program. But do you think that there's a little? Come on, you have the resources, you have the facilities, you have the team. You need to go to a regional next year.
No, I think they're so happy with where they're at. I mean, like, I maybe not hot seat. Okay, I'll frame this answer. Not in the hot seat, but her expectation has absolutely changed, right? Like, this is, no longer if you win the conference, are we going to be like, wow, this is amazing? I mean, or if you get top 3 in the conference or whatever she keeps doing, now it's like, okay, yeah, you're like, that's awesome.
You're supposed to.
Yeah. Now you're almost supposed to, which is a wild thing to say. What a privilege to be able to say that. But yeah, I think not hot seat at all. Like, I wouldn't say that, oh, you don't make it a regional, you're fired. No, I don't believe that at all.
Far from that.
I don't believe that. But the expectation definitely has changed. I hope for her and her team too, and her culture. I bet she would say something similar.
Yeah. I skipped my rebuttal to that statement there, Chase.
Okay.
For Ford and baseball, it's the same goal as it was this year. You got to get to Montgomery. You've got to make it. You got to make it. You almost got to say you want to be in the top 8. And then kind of be disappointed if you're only the 10th seed going into it.
Yeah, his, obviously no expectations. So I think I have realistic expectations for him, and that would be top 8. Now, am I expecting him to go out and win league against some of these people? No, but stay competitive like we were until the end. You do that all year next year, and I think that's great success. And I think he's the guy. I think we saw it this year. He's the grinder. He's thinking and overthinking everything, and you need somebody like that in there to kind of recognize what we don't have, but it's not, it's an opportunity to grow from it. It's not just a handicap, and I think he's got that growth mindset with that. But yeah, I would say the set expectation is all right. Hey, now you felt like a competitive team through most of the year. Let's finish it out. Let's get some pitchers and let's nail this thing down.
Chase, SJ Tui has left the program, and you are now the AD of ULM. What's the first thing you're doing to get ready for this upcoming year?
Oh, man. What's the first thing I'm doing? I had a lot of things go through my head that I cannot say out loud. I'm going to, you know what? If I'm SJ I'm in his shoes, right? Whatever. I think doubling down on the fan experience is the way to go. I think you've seen the Moccasins do that. You've seen basketball had its fruits of that. I mean, you've got to double down the fan experience, and that starts with what small improvements can we make? What momentum can we make? What can we sell? We need to be selling classrooms. We need to be selling chairs. We need to be selling windows. We need to be selling every single thing we have in that place. Needs to have somebody's name on it. And, we've got to ramp up and continue to ramp up and set these really, really high goals for fundraising and advancement and use them wisely. I think you're comfortable with where your coaches are. I think you're excited about your new soccer coach. You love who you've got at softball. You love who you got at baseball. You've great basketball coach that the community really loves. You double down on that and ask for their support there and continue to do that. Continue to excel in Fant Ewing. You sell the stadium, not sell the stadium off, but you really start nailing down how do we get people with a great outlook on ULM to come and really love their time here and then leave with a better outlook on ULM. I think it's a great place to start.
I'm all about the fan experience. I'm making sure that I drive that home, as you said. The big thing that I'm working on also as part of the fan experience, get the gear to the people, man. Get it to where we can get some gear and support our team.
Not like the weird. They kind of half-assed that in the last 5 years. I've seen them kind of try to do it different ways, and I completely agree. Some like game worn. You know how they do that? It's not really game worn, but it's like the same stuff as coaches wear and that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
And not the $150 Peter Millar shirt. Looks great.
Looks great.
But sorry, I'm not spending $150 on a polo.
No, let's get the TPW 134 shirts. We should be selling that kind of stuff.
The BV 134, what?
Put a ball down, baby. We need to do all that. Like we need we need like the game worn stuff. People really love the uniforms. They love what the coaches are wearing. They love the hats. They love the shirts. Yeah. Why don't we have a little store? I don't know where you put it, but not a trailer. How do we have a little store right there near the stadium and just but tips. People have been asked that for 20 years, but you're right. How do you solve that problem?
And gas. Make sure the bookstore's open on game week, like on Friday afternoon, Saturday morning.
Yeah, but even the bookstore, I mean, it's not really like athletics merch like you would think it would be. There's a little bit of it, but
yeah.
And it's nice. I'm not saying that, but a little hard to find, hard to park next to. You know, you need something a little more accessible where the people are.
They'll tow you.
They will tow you. They'll tow you quick.
That's it for this week there, Chase. What do you have for eats and tales from the road?
Had the wonderful opportunity this last week to spend a week with the Marines in Quantico, Virginia, do a college educators workshop class. And I thought of you because one day right before we went and flew on the B-22 Ospreys, we had MREs. And I've got to tell people from the rooftops, I'm shouting this, not as bad as you think they are. I had chili mac, tasted like hamburger helper, actually very good. Now, it hurt a few hours later, but in the moment, very good. Jalapeno, was a jalapeno cashew, some crackers and cheese. It was very good. Very grateful for the Marines and the time they spent with us, teaching us about their leadership, what the Marines look like. It was a blast. It was a blast, and some really great food in the MREs. And I'll tell you what, the chow halls at the Marines, like on base, terrible. So bad. Some of the worst. They were worse than MREs. I would have wished they just gave us MREs all week.
The chili mac is always the best one.
It's the only one I've ever had. So the pizza looked terrible, but the chili mac looked great.
The spaghetti is edible.
Yeah. They're not as bad as you think they'd be. Skittles and 200 milligrams of caffeine gum. I mean, you can't beat all that. And some toilet paper to go with it. It's just great. Very impressed. Did the combat fitness test, Tibbs. They said to pass this, you need to make it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I took about 5, but I finished it. Okay, I finished it.
Wanted to make sure there was a zero chance you were going to get recruited.
Yeah, they did not. There was actually some strength and conditioning coaches from a few universities around America, and they killed it. And they were really recruiting them. And my ego took a hit. I'm like, dang, these guys don't want me. They don't want me here. Want me being a Marine. But yeah, when they're like number 3 thinks that's physically fit, and you've ran twice in the last 3 years, you're probably not there for that.
I wish I had some more excitement, but it's been raining cats and dogs, and so not really able to leave the house very much. It's been pretty much a go to work, come home, and inflate the floaties and get ready for the floods.
You need to go put your toes in the sand this summer.
It's coming.
And you will, just in New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's not sand. That's probably ground up homeless people or
that's cigarette butts.
Exactly. So much fun, Chase. We'll do it again soon.
See you soon.
So what are you proposing? It's simple. Perhaps you should read the instructions first.
If you liked the show, like and subscribe wherever you stream podcast.
Is that good for us or bad for us?
Follow us on X at Warhawk_report. Like us on Facebook at Warhawk Report, and click the subscribe button on YouTube for Funbelt Podcast.
He's done! Done? Mm-hmm. It's only been an hour.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.